Geno tweeted this on Friday, Brock.
Numbers.
Does it mean nothing or does it mean everything?
Oh.
Was he just listening? It turns out it's from a song, right? So maybe he was just listening to the song, right? Certainly that's a
men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
So maybe it's just, he was listening to that song, but it sure doesn't feel that way.
Mm-mm.
It sure feels like.
He already tweeted the quote from the song. He isolated numbers this time.
That's true.
Quote tweeted it.
It sure feels like you told me one thing, you told me you loved me, you told me you wanted me, and the numbers don't reflect that.
Yes. I would tend to lean into that. Now, the old school Brock 14 years ago with no cynicism, whatever. He's just, he's having a little fun. 14 years into this thing, reading into a lot of these over the years. Yeah. And mostly because we saw Jason Myers' deal get done, right? So we know they were open for business. It wasn't they were shutting the doors and they're just out and taking a couple weeks off. We know that talking to Pete, who was quite energetic last Monday, and we've bounced into the new season and they get Jason Myers' deal done, obviously a much easier deal to get done, a lot less quote unquote numbers to deal with. But that tells me business was open, that they were talking. And yes, the first salvo came from the Seahawk end of things. And the first one is going to be really low, much like that fax was in 2006 to my house.
How low do you think it was? Like, what do you think they offered him that was low enough that got him to say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie? Seriously.
Yeah.
Because if you're negotiating and you truly want something to get done, you can't come in so low that you offend the person, right? I mean, that's sort of a rule of negotiation. If you want to get a deal done, you want to go low, but you don't want to go so low that that's, the end of the conversation, that the person says, okay, see you later, right?
Yeah, I don't think it works quite that way in the NFL in this instance because of all the levers to follow, because of a franchise tag possibility, because of an open market possibility, because of other QBs and a draft that starts to unfold. It's not as if right now you have all the information. This isn't as if, okay, we're putting our house on the market. We've seen what the other house is sold for. We've got a bunch of good comps and, we fixed our house up. So let's go. And that first offer comes in and you're like, that's embarrassing. Right. I'm not even going to respond to that. I'm so disgusted by it. This is, we're going to get our house on the market. Right. And we're going to start to see what's selling around us. And, maybe we should fix this up a little bit. Maybe we should put a new kitchen in, or maybe we should, right? To me,
I don't think so at all. I don't think he sees it that way.
He doesn't. The Seahawks do.
The Seahawks might, but he sure doesn't.
Well, absolutely not. For him, the hay's in the barn. My season's there. The tape is evident.
Well, I don't even know whether the Seahawks are the same. If you're going to make the house analogy, I think the Seahawks might just be like, hey, we're looking for a house of $500,000. This one's $700,000. Well, I'm not interested. Well, could you come up to $575,000 for the? No, my budget is $500,000. If I start paying $575,000, then I can't make my mortgage payments every month. Yep. I'm not going that high. Yep. And that may be very well the situation the Seahawks are in. Where they're just like, look, sorry, the location's not good enough. I don't want to be there. Now, hold on. Now, if you tell me that you've got my absolute perfect house in the right spot, that's big enough and high quality, and it's got the, the special wolf stoves or whatever, like, okay, fine. But unless you have every single one of those qualities, 500 is my limit.
Yep.
And my guess is that's what's happening here.
Oh, I think that's what happened. Yeah, I think Geno valued himself, much like Joe Fan, much like many others, much like, who was Richard Sherman? Lots of folks in the social realms, scoffed at $30 million. You think you're going to get him for less than $30 million? So I am sure that Geno and his agent felt like that was the starting point.
I think they're right, by the way.